Hi, this is Alan Edwards, and we're going to talk about setting up the app StartLine with your parameters and the different setups that you need to do to customize it to your boat. The first that we're going to do is the bow offset. Now there's four things to set here. The main one being the bow offset. In this case I have it set to 8 meters because the GPS puck is back that from the bow. The hull offset is the sideways offset. You might set that to 2 meters. If the boat is, say, 12 feet wide, that would be in the puck is more or less in the center. That's set to 2 meters. And you might set, the stern offset, so the distance between the stern of the boat and the puck might be 3 meters. The other is a safety factor. So if you set this to 0, you're basically targeting to be at the line at the gun. And reality is that the GPS is worst case going to be almost a boat length of uncertainty as to where you are. Typically, 99% of the time it would be much less than that, but I've seen it be up to 30 meters off. And so you might want to be a boat length back. 30 feet off, not 30 meters. So you might want to be 5 meters back, say 6 meters, whatever, when the gun goes off. That might be your target. That way you don't have to hold back. You can go right with what the app says. So let's save those. The other parameters you want to set are the parameters. The first one is the speed time constant. That's the time it takes your boat to accelerate, and I'm saying to 85%. So if you plot the time it takes your boat to go from whatever speed it is to its target speed, and then see how long it took to get to 85% of that target speed, then you'd enter that, and I have 45 seconds. The next is there's some options for what the sound says, and there's a lot of options, and basically I like 8 and 2. You can experiment with them. You can email me and ask me what they are. You can email me and say, hey, I want it to do this, 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 and I'll put a new option in. The reach factor is the speed that the boat goes on a reach compared to what it does on a beat, or when you're heading to the line. So you're going to be going faster on a reach. Maybe you're going slower on a reach. Maybe you have a reaching start and you want to be going slower when you're approaching that. So you can set the reach factor. But generally, most boats 1.15, 1.2 is about right. The leeway coefficient and the target heel are used in the leeway calculations, and you really have to know what the leeway factor is. You can look at that online, or you can experiment. The target heel is kind of the heel, the normal heel of your boat when it's when the wind is strong and you're headed upwind. Those two are used to calculate the leeway, and I've compared that to other models, and this model is really better than the one that uses the actual measurement of the heel of the boat. But if you have a race box and you have the accessories on it, you can use the actual heel of the boat on some of the calculations. The filter response, the GPS reading is filtered, both the heading and the speed, and you can get less noise or a faster response. One is sort of normal. A GPS delay, you can calibrate that by doing a test at speed. You can set
reference set,
a reference point, and then come back and
measurement made,
do a measurement of and we're not moving, so it's giving an infinity result. But this is used to calibrate the delay of the GPS. 5 seems to be a pretty good number. Basically, the GPS tells you where you were because it takes a measurement of where the boat is and then it processes it, and that all creates delay. So you need to compensate for that. So that's where that's done, and you can adjust that. Basically, I put it in a car, go like 25 miles per hour. You reference a certain point, and then when you pass that point, you ping it, and it'll give you the factor. So, you know, we can save those, and you probably don't have to touch those again, the parameters. You might have to touch the bow offset, particularly if you're just being a tactician and you might be on a different boat. You might have to move where the puck is or the length of the boat. So you can, those are on their own menu because of that. So those are the setups.